What we're trying to propose at Longannet Power Station, as part of our UK government bid, we're wanting to retrofit a capture plant onto an existing power station at Longannet. We'll be able to demonstrate a kind of complicated technology by retrofitting it onto an existing station that wasn't set up for actually delivering CCS.
Every power station that's currently in operation, every power station that's currently being built, and every power station that's currently being planned to be built is not necessarily a carbon capture ready as such. So what we have is a solution which could be retrofitted to every coal-fired plant in the world.
Because we've got an existing power station at Longannet, it means we can develop and deploy the technology and demonstrate the technology from 2014 onwards, meaning that it will be hopefully proven and commercially viable and technically viable by 2020, which is when generally people accept CCS will be rolled out full scale.
What we have to bear in mind is that the organisations who currently build the boiler technology and the turbine technology for power stations have designed that so that it operates for the purpose that it was intended to in the most efficient manner possible. Now, the purpose for which it was intended is to generate power, not necessarily to accommodate carbon capture and storage. And therefore, when we start to interfere with that steam cycle, that whole efficiency balance, then we start to undermine the fundamentals of the power station itself. We believe that a retrofit solution which ties back into the power station at the flue gas outlet and therefore doesn't interfere with any of the fundamentals of the boiler or turbine technology, and has with it its own power and steam supply to independently power the capture plant, is both technically the most deliverable solution and has the most potential for application worldwide in the short term.
The other alternative of building a new power station doesn't make any sense, because although you'll capture some of the emissions, the rest of it is new emissions. So the net effect of trying out a new technology to reduce carbon is more carbon. Clearly that doesn't make any sense. So to us, retrofitting on an existing station is the obvious thing to do, and Longannet is a very good candidate for that.
There are a lot of existing coal-fired power stations which aren't due to be closed down in the foreseeable future. So we need to know, can we retrofit them successfully? Is it commercially viable with the right incentives? Does it work technically? And so it's very important for us to be working with a company that is doing a retrofit. We're also looking to work with other partners in different types of technologies.
There's about 50,000 fossil fuel power stations worldwide, gas and coal power stations, and these are existing stations that haven't been built with CCS in mind. So if we can demonstrate how you can fit a capture plant onto an existing station, which is quite a complicated thing to do that integration, then that knowledge can be shared worldwide, and it's really going to help address these power stations which are going to be pumping CO2 out into the atmosphere for up to the next 50, 60 years.
That's why we're confident and enthusiastic about the retrofit solution, because we're not just taking this on in isolation, we're looking at it with a view to how do we catalyse and promote deployment of CCS worldwide, not just within Iberdrola.
It's widely recognised by organisations such as the International Energy Agency that coal will have an important part to play in the global energy mix going forward, and that's mainly driven by the economic growth in developing nations such as India and China.
One of the great benefits of having a retrofittable carbon capture plant, is that you can take it anywhere in the world and fit it to any coal-fired power plant, or indeed gas-fired power plant, whether it be in India, China, Africa, wherever. That,
for me, is the key to solving this. If businesses only respond to climate change because either they're required to by law or because they feel some moral obligation to, when times get bad, then they tend to step back. If businesses see this as really as a business opportunity, that there's a new market out there, that they're going to attract new customers, whatever it may be, then it becomes more sustainable. It becomes something of strategic interest at board level. Senior management say we need to address this because this is going to differentiate us from our competitors, it's going to bring in new customers, it's going to open new markets.
If I can give you I guess in global terms, a relatively small but still large example. During the time of our trial, so that's 330 megawatts at the Longannet power station, we will be taking the equivalent of 1 million cars off the road each year. You imagine if you can do that to the tens of thousands of fossil fuel plants around the world, and that's why this is important.